Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to get back to work on the truck like usual because of how bad the weather's been, and just keep marching forward to try to get this thing done, which this week I think we can get a lot closer. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging in there with me. I know that these long-form projects are really not everybody's cup of tea because of how many episodes it is and how tedious it is to follow along. Typically, when you're watching something on YouTube and you see maybe a 1 or 2-parter from a famous YouTuber, well, that's because they can afford to do that. I'm a normal guy. This is just kind of how it is for everybody else. But we're learning along the way, and we're really doing something very, very important and very meaningful, and I appreciate everybody who's hung in there with me. And when this thing finally goes, it's going to be really, really rewarding. But if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It would mean everything to me. That really helps. I'm not kidding. Because of the algorithms and the way that things are with YouTube and Google and all the stuff that, whoever owns YouTube, it helps to get traction. It really does. And sharing does help. It really does, because even if I don't gain a lot of views, it can gain a lot of exposure. And tell people, go through the back catalog of videos back when we had racing last year, like last summer. We were racing every week. And unfortunately, we don't do that during the winter. So it kind of stinks. But if you really, really want to help the channel out directly, you can go to GleasonBrosRacing.com. I am working on a new novelty shirt for the diesel people out there. I think you'll like it, especially if you're an old school diesel person. And I'm also working on other stuff. But we do have novelty shirts. We have race team shirts. We have hats. We have stickers, koozies, tumblers. The tumblers are awesome, by the way. I know that they're a little bit pricey, but they're really, really good. We have a lot. Go check it out. And it's very affordably priced. It really is. Shipping kind of slow, but you get what you pay for. So, GleasonBrosRacing.com. So, I'm back to work on the truck, but I'm back to work on the truck very late because, well, I'll show you. I hate everything. That snowblower is 2 feet tall. It's 24 inches. I hate it. Yeah. So for the third time this year, we've gotten over a foot of snow. This time it was a blizzard that was over 2 feet of snow. So the first storm was like, I don't know, foot and a half. The second one was like another 18 inches. That was supposed to be 3 to 6 inches. This one was just a complete, I don't know what you would want to describe. It was like a Cat 2 hurricane, they said, but it was snow. Luckily, we didn't lose power, and we're very fortunate in that fact, and I was able to get the plow truck kind of fixed, and I'm not even getting this video out to you very quickly because I usually start filming on Monday. It's now Wednesday at like 6 p.m. I have not had any time. I've been shoveling and plowing snow for 2 straight days. I'm exhausted. But the problem with the world today is people spend a majority of their lives being mad at things that they can't change. And especially if you read comment sections on pretty much anything, it's terrible. Don't even push the comments button. Just keep scrolling. Trust me, your life will be much better off. But I made a few very wise decisions when it came to planning. As the snow was thawing, and we were just starting to have hope that we would see the ground again, I dug the fenders out that I wanted to use. And I also got the headlight buckets, and I took a wire brush to them, and I slapped at least 1 coat of paint on them. I think I might throw another one on there because I did not do a very good job painting these, but we don't need them at this moment, so I think I'll go and when I heat the garage up, I'll make sure to heat those up too and get those painted. But you can tell I really slapped it on there because it was literally running off, and I don't think that's going to hurt that poor engine at all. But those are ready to kind of put together if I get the damn paint to dry. What the truck is missing at this point is getting the front clip installed. I mean, minor, alignment things here and there, but and brake bleeding, but I mean, that might be a recurring problem forever. But right now, it's going to be the front clip area. We're going to try to get this stuff put on and at least try to get the electrics run, because that's the last thing we kind of need to do to get the electrics finished in the truck. And I don't hold out a whole lot of hope with that turn signal stock and system that I bought, even though I look at different places who have them for sale for more money and it's the same product. So I look everywhere for a better one and I can't find one. So I don't know if it's actually going to work or not, but we're going to see if we can get the complete system installed. Maybe it'll start working, because as it is now, I hook up the relay for the turn signal and it just constantly clicks when power is connected, even with the hazards off, which it does have a hazards pull knob, and the turn signal off. So I'm wondering if there's just an incomplete circuit and that's what's causing it. Hopefully that's all it is. Also, I have no brake lights when I hit the brake pedal. Don't know why. That's a pressure switch. I'd really hate to have to go to an actual lever switch or whatever off the pedal. I'd hate to do more wiring. I really do. But for now, we have plenty of work to do. First things first, let's get the fenders on. The inner fenders are on, but they're not tight. I basically left everything kind of loose so that we could make small adjustments here and there and hopefully figure out how to get these things on properly. And if I leave them loose, it might give me a little wiggle room. Then after that, we can start working on, I'm thinking maybe we'll add a little paint here because this isn't painted yet. But, I mean, we'll do that at some point because I have a brand new grill for this thing that my dad bought that we have to put in. But the reason we have to put it in is because it has the turn signal spots. So I got to figure out where they go and run wiring to that. So I've got a bunch of wiring just kind of hanging around here. And I think it's time that we at least start getting the front pieces of this truck on and finalized for now. Check it out, we're making some progress. Got the fenders pretty much bolted up. The only reason they're a little floppy up front is because we haven't tied in the grill, which I'm going to show you in a second. I've been kind of wiping her down, and she's got some sweet natural patina to her, except for this, yeah, somebody completely covered this fender in a skim coat of Bondo instead of just, I don't know, living with it, I guess. They weren't very good at body work, but that's okay. We're going to leave it the way it is. I think all I really have to do is just kind of tighten all the bolts down, but I left a few loose on the radiator support so that this thing could move just a little bit, because we're going to have to get this up. And what this is something my dad bought for this truck, which is really good because the one I had when I got the truck from him is torched, is a good word. There's nothing left of it. Absolutely nothing left. So he got this. It is going to be probably the only shiny part of this truck. And that's perfectly fine. I don't care. Let's see. I thought there was yep, there it is. There's a nut and bolt kit that came with it. That's pretty cool. Even though I have some, this will come in handy. Nuts and bolts of any sort always come in handy. By the way, if you're someone like me who does a lot of work on cars by themselves, a great thing to have are fasteners. Nuts, bolts, washers, anything. So in the spring and summer and fall, when you go around and you see yard sales, garage sales, or anything like that, pop in. See if it's somebody, an old man or somebody died and their family's cleaning out the garage or something like that. And they have just cans or bottles or whatever, tins of nuts and bolts. Buy them because they're probably really cheap because no one outside of what we do cares about it. I go to flea markets. I go all sorts of places. I pick up buckets of fasteners. And I go through them, trust me. Because I lose a lot of stuff. But, oh, this thing is sweet. Wow. Oh, by the way, the hood emblem was new when he put it on. And it's kind of sat for a while, but it's still not bad. You can shine it up pretty good. Ooh. Hell yeah. Look at that piece right there. Ha ha ha. Look at that, huh? Now that's gonna go, if I don't drop the thing. Now this is all metal, by the way. That's gonna go kind of up and like that. Look at that. It's gonna be like a wrapper with a chrome grill. Anyway, I'm gonna start with this tomorrow. My wife just got back from being out of town for a day or two. I'm gonna go spend some time with her and the kid because I've been at work all day and then I came out here for the rest of the evening. And I'd like them to remember who I am. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't know how to mount these in here. So we're gonna have to figure that out. Oh, hey, look. Oh, mouse poop. But a turn signal setup that might work. I might have to figure that out too. If this one doesn't work, I might have to go to this one. This one's old, but it's all metal. I don't know. I'll just leave that over here and not break any wires. Maybe we can figure that out also. But good grief. I got these turn signals. Oh, all right. I know how they work now. Okay. Yeah, they mount with these two bolts on the bottom. You can tell these are very used. Somebody refurbished them at some point in history, which is fine. They do work. I did test them. That's my handwriting on these. Apparently they mount like this down into the little tabs. Kind of right there in the nice, shiny, clean new grill. But what I have to figure out is how I'm going to get this together. Because they got these little foam gaskets here that go underneath that. And you got to... These are actually glass, which is really cool. So I've got to figure out how to get these together with that little foam gasket to not fall out. And that's going to take like 4 hands and, 3 people and I don't know. But I don't want to touch too much of this because I'll probably end up with hantavirus. But we got to dig this stuff out. These look like they came out pretty well. I got 2 coats on them. Yeah, they are rotted. You can tell they're garbage, but, I mean, they're not garbage enough that I can't use them. Oop, missed that spot inside, but whatever. I'm just going to throw them back in the fenders. This one looks like it had been replaced at some point in the past because it's way better than the other one, but it's still garbage. Apparently these are $75 a piece, so a little spritz a can of, what is this? Ah, Rust-Oleum. Send it. You know, for as many mismatched pieces, new, old, who the hell knows, because I don't think that hole is on a factory truck for a 51 Chevy 3100. I'd have to Google that, but I don't recall that being there, especially since there isn't one over here. And I don't know where my dad got these fenders from. They are a lot better than the ones that he had, even though they are peeling like it has psoriasis. But yeah, let's just leave that there. Maybe it'll fall off on the road. But the new grill, I'll tell you what, that thing went together really nice. So it's got new grill, new signal lights. I got to pull the wiring through. I got the repainted headlight buckets put back in. I think I need new headlights, though. I think I saw it said, I forgot who made these. Wagner, maybe? But they say 6 volt, so I don't think I can use these. We'll burn them right out. So I have to cross-reference that and figure that out, so I'll have to swap those off. But I'm in the middle of wiring. I got them all labeled. I think it's over here. Yeah, green's high, brown's low, black is self-explanatory. We're going to just start tying stuff in and run everything straight back through here, tie them together, and run them back into the foot switch down there, which I believe I've already put power to. So I'm going to have to double check that. Then I have to get these turn signal lights, and those are over here. I got those over here on this, and they're going to be, you know, this one's your left side, this one's your right side, and I got to run those. And I've also got something else that'll help me, like, keep this thing pretty clean. I used to have a whole bunch of, like, wire loom, like this stuff. I don't know where it went. My neighbor gave me, like, a whole big bag full of it. Watch me have thrown it away when now I need it. Of course, that's how it always works, but I'll keep looking. But I'll find something to keep the wire loom a little bit more clean up front, because I really don't want to have a situation where we've just got a whole bunch of bare wires just kind of hanging out here, you know. I want it more like this. I want it to be, there's one loom going up there, and then I'm going to have another one going up there, and then it's going to be, you know, relatively clean. I mean, these I'm going to kind of zip tie together and kind of wrap them up and just hold them out of the way. You know, just simple stuff like that. I gotta be honest with you guys, doing wiring is so tedious. It's so boring. But I got at least, well, I gotta run the turn signal wire over here, I think, because there's 2 wires that come out of each one of these turn signals, and one is for a running light, and the other one's for a turn signal light. So I'm basically wiring together both of the running lights so that I can run one wire straight to the terminal on the foot switch, because it's the closest one, from headlight power into the switch. Then I've got to wire each individual turn signal into their respective wire that's over here. Then I have to loom it all, and I have to get the low and high beam run into the cabin, put some spade connectors on it, get it to the foot switch, and then after that, it might work. I hate doing wiring, but you know what? It is really rewarding. I'm not going to lie. It is rewarding. It's just very tedious. Now, I'm used to doing race cars. They're very easy. You run a couple wires. If you want, you can have wires for, like, lights on your gauges, an ignition wire, a battery kill switch, a fan. That's about it. Unless you have electrical gauges, you don't really have a lot to do. With this, boy, there's a lot more. Having to factor in a turn signal so it'll be road legal, and brake lights, and headlights, and switches, and gauges, and all sorts of other stuff. There's so many other circuits. And you all who have been along with me on this ride for the whole thing have known that I'm doing it all custom by hand. I'm literally mapping this thing out myself, and going by the seat of my pants. And so when something goes wrong, that's on me. But that thing that's going to go wrong is probably going to have to wait till tomorrow because I am dead on my feet. I mean, after the blizzard and shoveling for 3 days and working through it, standing here wiring, my feet are freaking killing me. So I'm going to take an early night tonight, just kind of chill. And then tomorrow, hopefully, we can have, and since it's all mapped out sitting here right in front of me, hopefully I can at least get it done enough to test. That would be nice. I'm not really convinced that it's going to be, a working, functioning thing because I've already got my doubts, and I don't think it's because of anything that I've done that's improper. However, you get what you pay for in life. So we might pay for that a little bit more tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see if we do. But then again, that's for tomorrow. All right, next day. I'm also really late today. I really wanted to get more done, but I got called away again to help people dig out from the blizzard. I took about 4 hours to do that after getting out of work. So it is getting on about 7 o'clock at night, and I'm just getting out here, which kind of stinks. So this video is really going to suck, and it's not like I'm really able to do a lot about that, and I apologize severely for that. But we got to just get back on track, and even though the video is not going to be very informative or helpful or anything, we're still getting very important things done. If I can get these electrical circuits put together with the front grille assembly, boy, we're going to be really far along. That means hopefully in the next video, finishing stuff. Now, clearly we're not going to be finished, but we will be really, really close, like to the point where if we hook the battery up and, wash the windows down because they're hideous and I can't even see through them, then this thing could probably just move and do things on its own. I mean, that would be tremendous, but we still got to get there first. And with the blizzard outside, I literally can't even back my trailer in here because my truck's snowed in and my trailer's snowed in. And this thing has nowhere to go. I can't put this thing anywhere because there's so much snow. There's no parking spots for it. So it's like, well, poop. Now what the hell do I do with it? So we're going to be doing a lot of finishing on this truck while we wait for the snow to melt so I can get the race car in here. That would be tremendous. But today I really am just going to focus on face forward. Let's see if we can get the turn signals, running lights, and the headlights completely finished. Now, I think I left off with we have to run the turn signal lights. We also have to run the signal, not signal, but the running part of the turn signals. I have to run that in there. I have to run these to these, and I have to run the actual headlights to the low and high beam switch. How did I do that? Ah, there we go. Down through there, which means spade terminals, tape, all sorts of fun stuff. So I think I'll set the camera up and just get to work because we don't have any time. I don't even know if I'll be able to work on this thing tomorrow. Alright, I'm going around the back. I'm going to go arm the battery. I plugged in the relay. Is it a relay? I don't even know what the hell they're called. Anyway, battery armed. Okay. Nothing's happening. That's good. I guess, maybe. Okay, oh. Why is it blinking? This is weird. So, I don't know why, but this... Can you hear that through my microphone? the damn switch is going off. Here, let me turn the key on. Okay, so there's that. So nothing's happening, I assume. Yeah, I don't think this turn signal stalk is really worth anything, because all it does is sit here and blink. Like, I can hear it clicking. I can hear the flasher relay clicking like this, but nothing's happening. So let me... Oh God, I think I just blew out both the headlights. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. They're 6 volt anyway. So, alright, I did something right. The headlights worked. The running lights work. That's cool. The running lights in the back also work. It's just that the blinkers don't work. So we're going to have to figure out why. And I guarantee you it's the damn switch. So I'm going to have to figure out something for the turn signal stalk. Yeah, we blew the headlights. It's okay. I'll have to cross-reference and get some 12-volt ones so that they don't blow out. But, you know, maybe I can rock auto those because I got to put an order in anyway. So, oh well, we'll figure this out at some other point. But if there's one thing that's the worst, it's that I hate doing things to the letter of the manufacturer's instruction, which I'm grabbing right here. And it doesn't work at all. Like, I sit here and I see this little red light here on the turn signal stalk just blinking constantly when I put the battery on. I wired it up, and it says it's got color-coded wiring all on the box, and I hooked it up exactly as they said to, and it doesn't work. So I don't know what to do. I even turned the key on. No work. So you know what's stupid is it didn't work when I originally hooked it up, and I'm like, well, maybe the circuit's bad because it's not complete. Well, now it's complete. So why doesn't it work? I think an Amazon turn signal stalk is really not the way to go. I'm going to just keep working at it, see if I can find something, anything that I haven't really tied in, but I was really, really diligent about putting these wires where they're supposed to go. And they didn't work, so, guess I'll have to go to plan B. So I spent a few minutes trying to track down what could possibly be wrong with this turn signal stalk right here. Of course, it's a very quality product. Let me see, what's it say? Yeah, I don't have any clue. But the main thing is, it says, made in China. And it was like 20 bucks on Amazon. That was the wrong idea, because that thing is junk. I tried grounding the body better, like it said in the instructions. That did nothing. I traced the wiring. It was all as it said it would be from the instructions. I went through it with, I tried different combinations, different flashers, different everything. And eventually I accidentally touched the ground to one of the terminals on the flasher, and I saw a weird puff of smoke. And now it doesn't do anything at all. So, oops, that was a little unintentional. But I think I'm going to be buying a new turn signal stalk that might actually have a little bit of quality to it instead of trying to be cheap, which I think that review is going to be pretty low on Amazon. However, I did test the headlights again because I forgot that headlight switch might have been kicked to high beams. So I flipped the headlight switch back on, hit the switch, and the headlights came back on and then immediately burned out again. So I'm like, well, the headlights work, so that's not a complete failure. If I could get the damn brake lights to work, that would be even better. I don't even know if the battery's hooked up. Good, it's not. But what's ridiculous is everything goes through the turn signal stalk. Everything. The brakes go through, the brake light, I should say, comes from this pressure sensor, goes in through here, and into the turn light stalk. So basically every single electrical thing, like for the lights, except for the headlights and the tail lights, clearly, go through this. So if you hit the brakes, it comes through this and it goes to the brake lights. If you hit the brakes and turn the signal, that should blink one light while leaving the other one solid so that you know that your brakes are on. It even has 4 ways. Clearly, it's all a complete moot point because it's junk and I'm going to have to buy a new one. This week's been terrible. Not only did we get over 2 feet of snow that I've been dealing with seemingly every day, because I work outside, so I have to go trudge through that garbage every day. And then I had to plow it about 3 or 4 times. The trash company who picks up my trash didn't even come down my road, even though it was plowed. And I guarantee you they're not going to prorate any of us in the neighborhood for a week's worth of not picking up our garbage. They'll probably still charge us the same amount of money. Then I had to go do it, a few more days this week. And it left me 0 time to come out here, which stinks. And I really wish I could have gotten more stuff for you guys. But, man, this is why I'm not popular on YouTube. This is why, I can't make a good go of this, is because I work a real job. And I don't have anything going for me at the moment. Especially the weather. Even the weather doesn't go right for me. So, we did get a lot done, though. There is a lot of bright side to this. No pun intended. We did get the entire front clip on the truck. I could have put the bumper on, but we weren't really focusing on that at the moment. We got this brand new front grille. Look at it. It's so nice and dirty, but it's clean if you clean it. The lights work. We know all the lights work at least. We just got to figure out the damn turn signals. Maybe a better piece or product that I buy for that will actually work. But we got the whole front clip on. Check it out. I'd love to see it on the ground with the tires on it just to see if the fenders rub. Got to loom a couple wires here, but, we're still doing that work. I got this one done, but it's got to be kind of, tucked so that we can put it away somewhere. But, guys, we're getting really, really close. Oh, yeah, I need new headlights. Apparently Napa has them. They're like $17, so even for Napa, that's pretty cheap. I might want to get new headlight bezels, because I don't know if those are splitting, or if that's supposed to be that way. I don't know, but whatever. We know that if we pull the switch, the lights work. We just got to figure out that one last thing. Okay, so I was able to finagle another day out of this. I'm kind of glad for that. So I was able to also go down to the local Napa parts store, which they don't pay me, so I don't know why I'm offering them some free advertising, but I was able to get a few parts that we're going to at least try out. So if you hear the TV on in the background, I apologize. I got the truck race on, forgot to mute it. But I grabbed a new flasher relay. I needed a 3-prong flasher relay for the signal switch that I have. I figured at least try it. It couldn't hurt. And the parts guy hooked me up with these, which are sealed 7-inch headlights. So I'm going to yank these out, take a look-see here at these. But I think they're going to work. See, this says 2D1 on them. If you reach in here and grab this one, which I don't want to pull it out, you'll see 2D1. So I'm kind of really hopeful, because if that's your size or your shape or whatever, that should direct fit right in. So let's yank those out, stuff them in. Try to put this relay in. I don't know if she's going to work. I don't know if that turn signal system is going to be okay or not, or if I have to completely change that for another one. But I got another relay. We'll make sure not to, ground that out randomly on accident and blow that out as well, and give that another shot. Well, you saw it in the time lapse. The headlights work. The running lights work. The rear running lights work. The only thing I got wrong now is the fact that no blinkers and no brake lights work. And that is everything that goes through the turn signal stalk. I think what happened was I initially, because this doesn't tell you a damn thing, right? It does not tell you that the flasher here is not facing you. It's not like this, facing you. It's actually this way around, and the leads come in that way, completely opposite of what I thought it was. So, that being said, I probably wired it up the first time incorrectly, and I guarantee you I blew this cheap knockoff Chinese relay. I should shut the lights off because it's draining my battery. I'm going to put the charger on it anyway. And it probably fried the thing straight away. So, I think what I'm going to do next is at least test the brake light switch just to make sure it works. And the way I'm going to do that is just take a jumper and just kind of touch it to the brake light switch and see if it makes the brakes work. And if it does that, then the switch is probably fine. And I guarantee you I need a new turn signal stalk. Now I'm a little bit confused. I did a little testing off camera and there it is. Why is this sparking? There should not be power to the brake light switch. That's supposed to be a ground, and when you ground them together, that makes the lights work, right? That should be how that works. So now I'm real confused because I followed the instructions to a T because, you know, I'm not the manufacturer. I just do this stuff. And it says stoplight switch, hot wire, red. I don't know. I'm going to have to go look this up because that should not be how that works. Oh, boy. All right. I'm going to have to do a lot more research here, and this is going to take me a lot more of the night than I expected. Okay, apparently I was wrong. In an older system like this, or a custom system, I guess that is a hot lead. So that leads me to believe that, you know what, I'm going to test this as well. I'm going to get out my, well, you know what, this one will work. One of my test leads. And just check it across the terminals to, oh, maybe not this one. Okay, so maybe I'll find another one and test it across the terminals to see if it in fact has power across it by, well, hitting the ground on one and just pushing it to power on the other one. So why don't we just do that real quick since I'm standing here. That says 13 volts because I got the battery charger on. That one says nothing. So if I go and hit the brake pedal, what will it say? I just want to rule out that the switch isn't bad because I'm already kind of believing that the turn signal stalk system is bad or just garbage to begin with. And I'd really like to figure out if the switch is bad too. Alright guys, I got her kind of precariously perched here. So let's see if this pressure switch works. Oh man! That's like right away. 13.8. Guys, I'm barely hitting the pedal, by the way. I'm like, yep, turning on. Barely touching the pedal. So there's nothing wrong with that switch. Absolutely nothing wrong. So I think we're just going to have to bite the bullet here and order a new one of these and rewire the whole damn thing. I am so not looking forward to that. You know what? I say it every time, but you get what you pay for, and if you pay 20 bucks on Amazon for garbage, you're going to get garbage. So starting over. At least the mystery's solved. With regards to the switch. At least we know the switch works. It sucks. When you do that much wiring, I spent, what, 2 episodes, 2 weeks working on the damn wiring of the truck, and now nothing works except for the headlights, which I did myself, so we know it works. And the turn signal stalk was made somewhere where they don't care and they sell it off as garbage. So that's what we get. Guess I'll go order a new one. Hope for the best. Now, as I have all the stuff working, like I got the headlights working, the running lights work, the tail lights work, but not the brake lights. Everything that I said I put into this already works. I don't really know where to go left in this video. I mean, typically we have some kind of theme to these, but I guess we don't really have one anymore. You know, I was thinking about... I know, I've already done this a few times, but I'm thinking it might be a little silly to not at least try this. You know, I'm not the biggest Edelbrock fan, but I got one, and I did rebuild it, and I really do want to know if it works. Now, clearly, if I look in it, it is a little bit dirty still. I did put all new gaskets in it. I did flush the whole thing out. I scrubbed it. I did everything I could possibly do to it. Everything should work. And I've heard that, you can see the brand new accelerator pump I put in, but I've heard that these things aren't really that bad. Like, you could hook them up to pretty much any engine, and the thing's gonna run, you know? Now, I had this on my old F350, but then again, that was like a 1980 F350 with a 351 and a C6, and it was probably pretty small for that. It's only a 1400, which is a 600 CFM, I think. But I mean, the 2-barrel that's on it's a 500. And this thing, which is kind of cool about this, it's a square bore. Like, that thing is, well, I mean, it's relatively square. I mean, the secondaries are bigger. But you can fit it on a square bore intake, which I think is exactly what I have gaskets for. So I'm kind of thinking about trying this. Oh, hello. I guess I won't be trying it yet. I got a few things to fix. Probably going to require a lot of tuning, but let's give it a shot again. Get on the step stool and see if we can get her to fire off. I tried my best to square off transfer slots, and I did the idle mixture a turn and a half out on both. So let's see what we can do. She won't idle, but it does run, so... I say we try it at least, right? Now I gotta hook a choke up. Hang on, let's try shutting it off and see if it backfires through the carb again. Hey, that's pretty good. So, okay, so we need to do a little tuning, but you know what? The old Edelbrock carburetor, for that little amount of work that I just did, which half of it you're not going to see because of how long this clip is, honestly is not bad. I think it's worth trying. So, all right, we'll deal with that later. All right, I got the TV on again. Sorry about the noise, but you guys want to see something cool, watch this. Let's just, it's not even really warmed up yet. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, it fires right up. Yeah, that's, I'm sorry, but that carburetor's staying on now. I don't know don't know why I ever hated an Edelbrock carburetor. I didn't really hate them, but I just didn't know anything about them. So, all right, we'll wire up a little thing to the choke, and because that seems to be working, and I think we're going to send it. So that's kind of cool. I don't know why this carburetor didn't run so well when I had it on my Ford, but then I pulled the metering rods out of it, which I've never dealt with before, and there were springs on the top of the plungers. So I checked ChatGPT and Googled stuff, and I'm like, are there supposed to be springs on the top where the cover is? I don't think so. I think it's just a spring underneath the plunger, and that's how you regulate the metering rods for these types of carburetors. And I checked with any resource that I could find, and they're like, yeah, no, that's not supposed to be there. So I think somebody at some point in history put springs in the top of these, and it acted as extra spring, and the thing probably ran either lean or rich. I don't really know how these things work, but it didn't like it. And you know what? I could just turn the key and the thing refires with it. We're putting this one on. I'll just run this one. And plus, it's kind of cool because it used to be on my old truck. It's just another example of saving stuff and never knowing when you're going to use it again. And the damn thing works. Leak, but I'm not ruling out the fact that it could be the distributor. So I might pull that apart and or maybe just find a new one. I don't really know where that one came from. I think I pulled it out of a compressor room somewhere, but again, this is all part of a process, and once I get it on the ground, it'll be a lot easier for me to deal with. But for right now, I think I'm going to let her cool off. It didn't even get hot, honestly. It barely registered any temperature sitting here. I also have another weird issue. See, I have two breathers on the other side of the engine. They're both connected, clearly, to the same bank. That one smokes. That one doesn't. What is that? And why doesn't that make any sense whatsoever? You'd think that if one was smoking, both of them would be. But only that one is. I wonder if that one's just kind of blocked off because it's sitting really low. But I don't know. I'm going to check it out. Well, get used to this. Standing water. Like I said, I got the trench dug out, but when it's covered in ice and snow, it's not going to do anything. So my shop is going to flood really, really bad, especially with all the snow. Oh, man, this is going to suck so bad. But anyway, I think I've reached my limit for time on this week. Did get a lot of stuff figured out. Learned a lot of things. Checked on a lot of stuff. Figured out that cheap parts are still cheap. And that old parts are still good, I guess. And don't put 6-volt headlights in a 12-volt system. They're really bright, but only for a second. And you need them to be bright for a lot longer than that. So, as I clean up and try to figure out some kind of a solution to my ice and water issue, I'm going to wrap it up. And I just want to thank you guys so much for being here and hanging in here with me. Racing season's coming up awful quick, and I don't need the reminder, trust me, because I'm already freaking out about the time that I need to get this thing done and how much snow we still have left to melt. This truck, if I needed to move it, I could at this point. I could literally put the air cleaner on it, start it, put it in gear, and move it, which is awesome. That's exactly where we need to be for the point in time that we kind of in right now. I need to be able to move this thing and get the race car trailer in here. However, at this moment, that's a little bit impossible to do, especially given the weather conditions outside. But again, thank you all for being here and for hanging out here with me. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And I know this isn't really that entertaining for you, but for me, it means the entire world because this was my dad's truck. And he wanted it this way, and he never got it this way. And I'm trying to finish it, and it's really kind of rewarding, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm doing a lot of really cool things. And this thing, when it's done, I'm not kidding, it's going to be really, really cool. It already is really cool. But once we get a couple little issues just kind of ironed out, it's going to be super, super cool. So hang in there with me if you can. Like I said, racing season's coming, and we're going to have an all-out thrash on our hands when that finally comes to town. And the snow goes away enough that I can get it in here. So, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so because it helps me out a ton with this type of stuff, especially the back end with like the business things of the channel, trying to get some funding going, trying to get ad revenue, and trying to get myself more parts for trucks and race cars and everything else in between. And every cent that I make on this channel goes right back into it. I have a day job for everything else. That's not a huge issue. But for you guys to subscribe, that helps a lot. If you want to help the channel directly, however, go to GleasonRoseRacing.com. We have race team merch. We also have novelty shirts, stickers, hats, koozies, golf shirts, I think now. We have tumblers. We have all sorts of stuff. Go ahead over there and check that out. GleasonBrosRacing.com. So thank you guys again, and I will see you next time.